Welcome to Vittles with Valerie. Today we're going to be making some salmon croquettes, and I have really fond memories of making salmon croquettes growing up because my dad would actually make homemade biscuits with them, and so this is one of those things that I make, and it just really reminds me of my of growing up in Mississippi. So I make these on occasion. And mostly I make canned biscuits with it, but I think soon I'm going to try to make the homemade biscuits, the homemade buttermilk biscuits that my dad used to make. So at this point, what I've done is I've taken my salmon out of the can, and there's going to be a little bit of skin on the salmon. All you have to do is just scrape that off with a fork. It's going to be just a little bit. You don't have to worry about it being a lot. It's just a little bit of skin. And there's a very small amount of bone in there too. And it's all fused together, and you'll see it once you pull the salmon out of the can. And all you have to do is use your fork, and you can just pop that up. Some people don't even mess with that bone. They just leave it in there. I'm going to go ahead and put some olive oil in my skillet and start heating this baby up so that we can cook these to a nice golden brown. Now I'm going to add in some sea salt. And you may think that I'm putting a lot of sea salt in here, but I'm not. Only a little bit comes out when you're grinding it out. And some cracked pepper. A little bit of onion powder. Onion powder doesn't have any sodium, so you can be liberal when you put this into the salmon. Some garlic powder. Same with this, no sodium. Some sugar to help give that nice caramel color. Gonna stir this up. And as you can see, it looks a little bit dry now, but I reserved some of the salmon liquid that it was sitting in. So I'm going to gauge how moist I want this to be once I get ready to put it into the skillet. I'm going to add in my egg, and all I did was beat this slightly. So I'm going to add my egg in there. And what the egg does is it helps to bind it together. This is only one can, and it's going to render about 6 salmon patties. So if you like for yours to be a little bit larger, then maybe you'll only get 4 or 5. But I make mine a little bit smaller, maybe a little bit smaller than the size of my palm. Add in some onion. You can also be liberal with this onion because once you start cooking the salmon, some of these are going to fall out, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Once you create the patty and you start cooking it in the skillet, you're going to lose some of them. Now I'm going to add in a little bit of flour. Same thing with this flour. It works as a binding agent. Now this is 1/4 of a cup, or 1/3 of a cup. I'm not going to use quite that much. If I need more, then I'll add more as I start cooking them. Okay. So this is nice and hot at this point. I'll just slide that over for just a minute until I get this mixed up real good. So in here we have salt, pepper, 1 egg that was beaten lightly, about 1/4 of a cup of onion, about a half of I used a scoop that was 1/4 of a cup, and I used about half of that to put some flour in to bind it. And so now I think I'm going to add a little bit more of this liquid from the can of salmon in here. And this is how I want it to look. I'm gonna put my eye back here because I think this is gonna be ready to go. And something in my spirit telling me I need to put a little bit of seasoned salt in this baby, so that's what I'm gonna do. But trust me, it's not gonna be too salty. So it's gonna look a little bit like pate once you're done. It's gonna look a little bit like pate. So let's go on ahead and make one of these. And remember I said I wanted about the size of my palm. And see that egg and that flour in here just molded just enough. And then that's what you want when you put it in the skillet, is a nice sizzle. Make them nice and golden brown. Make yourself some biscuits, some rice, some mimosas. See, some of these are little baby size. You can come back over here, not Beyonce. I mean, you can. I'm not gonna start dancing. I'm beatboxing about it. Okay. So, oh, and Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year 2018. Good vibes, positive energy. Make sure that's what people are giving to you this year. That's what I'm looking for. Positivity. Okay. And I got a little baby one. Let's say right here. If these babies are done, I'm going to pull them out. Doesn't that look delicious? I hope y'all try my recipe. If you don't, oh well. You're missing out, baby. Because they are delicious. Y'all know some of the best cooks come from Mississippi. And see, like I said, it makes about 6 decent sized patties. Now, if you have more than 2 or 3 people to feed, you may want to make 2 cans. But this is all you need. My salmon croquettes, they're delicious. Try the recipe. And Happy New Year, guys. I hope that you had a prosperous 2017. And I hope you have an even more prosperous and healthy beginning to 2018. Thanks again. Until then, Val's cooking. Bye.